Okay, guys, welcome into your BattleGround 2014 review and results with me and BrendenPlayz.
What's up?
And so we're basically just going to get right into this. So we started off with the kickoff show, obviously, and first match on the show was Fandango versus Adam Rose, and apparently it was Adam Rose's birthday. So, yeah.
Well, they had two matches on the pre-show. I don't think they've ever done that before, even though who really cares about either of them? But
Exactly.
um, Adam Rose and who was it? Sandow?
It was
Was it Sandow?
Fandango.
Yeah. It shows how much attention I paid to it. Um, Look, it is what it is. Fandango, though, man, he's on the buried card. I think he's going to be the next like Heath Slater or something. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to fucking Zack Ryder on Raw, so I think Fandango's in a bit of trouble. They've dropped both his dances. They'll probably stop giving him an entrance now, so he can't dance anymore. So I think
Exactly.
Fandango's done. He might be the next to go.
Yeah, he'll probably be one of the people that gets fired next or let go. Adam Rose won with the party foul after getting slapped, or after Fandango got slapped by Layla and Summer Rae, 0 out of 10. So,
Yeah, well, who cares? Adam Rose sucks. He
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Like, he reminds me like he's going to be the next Santino. Well, that sucks because I hate Santino.
exactly. And then we just had a bunch of video packages and an USO promo. None were really spectacular. Then we had Cameron versus Naomi. And only thing I have to say about this match, what the fuck were they wearing?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was actually really surprised. I thought Naomi would win, but Cameron
Yeah,
won,
but that
and she
schoolgirl
won
pin.
using the tights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
And
won in a good heel fashion, so I don't mind that. But I thought Naomi would win and probably go on to be next in line for the Divas Championship match, but obviously not.
yeah,
Yes, they may be trying to push Cameron. I don't know, or they'll
just
continue the feud.
exactly. Probably till SummerSlam, and it's basically it. No one really cares about this because it's boring. And yeah,
Well, the way they did it, like it just Cameron just started pushing Naomi, and then they just started bitch fighting. Like, really? I mean, it was a couple of weeks of build up. Like Cameron was getting annoyed or whatever, so she finally snapped. But I don't know. The storyline just stupid. Well, the storyline makes sense, but the way they played it out was just
yeah,
dumb. And if it's on the pre-show, that just goes to show how much people really care about it. Absolutely fucking nothing.
yeah. So then we just had them pimp out the show so that they could get those, more network buys, and then we're on the pay-per-view, and
Yeah, well, what was the deal? Like, why would they promote the network constantly whilst the pay-per-view was on? Like, if you're
yeah,
watching the pay-per-view, you're either you've got the network or you're paying even more money to watch it on pay-per-view
yeah,
or you're streaming it illegally. So, um, no, I don't see the point of like heavily pumping it like with the promotions out. Like, yeah, get the network, but we've already got the fucking network. That's why we're watching the show.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Like I understand them pimping out the network on Raw, but on the pay-per-views, just
and
no.
on the pre-show when it's free, but like on the
Yeah,
pay, like what's the point? Like we've already paid, like, we're good to go. We've got it. Let's go. Shut the fuck up and let's see some wrestling.
yeah. Then we had for the first match of the show, which in my opinion was match of the night, the Usos voice crack, but the Usos versus the Wyatts in a 2 out of 3 falls tag team title match. And the first fall went to Harper with a big boot on one of the Usos. Uso got a schoolboy pin on Harper, and then a double splash on Harper for the third fall. And the Usos won. There were some really cool spots like the super kick, and he just no-sold it into that spinning discus lariat, and that was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
And
that was.
yeah, this was easily match of the night.
Yeah, well, even the finish, how they did the double splash was pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
even though the Whites lost, the Usos had to really like do everything they could possibly do to put them down. So I think they still look strong coming out of it, even though they did lose. I thought the Whites would win though. I don't know. I don't know what's the go of the tag team division. I mean, I've discussed this on my videos. What are they going to do with the tag team division? Like, who are they going to bring up? who they're going to put together as a tag team, because who else is there to face the Usos? That's my main concern.
The
So,
Nation
I
of
mean, if you had,
Domination 2.0.
yeah, I guess if they have enough time to build them up, or we'll
Yeah,
probably see a third match, just because who else is there between the Wyatts and the
basically.
Usos? So, I thought if the Wyatts won, then you could have the fucking weird Dust Brothers go against them,
Yeah,
and then you could have Kofi and Big E go against them if you have to. I mean, I guess the only team that the Usos can really face is Rybacksel, and I
yeah,
mean, the Rybacksel do get some wins on TV here and there to look half decent here and there, but not enough to really constitute a tag team title match. So I don't know. You wouldn't believe the Rybacksel will beat the Usos. So
yeah.
I don't know what the hell is next for the tag division. You tell me.
I think the Wyatts get another match at SummerSlam, to be honest. Like, an elimination, no DQ, falls count anywhere, maybe? No idea.
Well, they did 2 out of 3 falls, which I think was a good idea.
Yeah,
Although the first 2 falls went down so easy, and then the last one just
yeah,
took forever. So it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, okay, the last one should take the least amount of time because there's that much, they're so stuffed. But
yeah,
no, the first ones, all I had to do was one finisher, whereas the last one took like fucking 3 or 4 finishes. But
yeah.
I think they'll probably, if they do another one, give it another stipulation, like maybe a ladder match or something like that. I don't
That'd
know.
be freaking awesome. Holy
That
crap.
would be that'd be pretty cool. But the thing is, like, how do you constitute a third match between the two teams?
Yeah,
Because the Usos have beaten them clean twice now, so it's not like, oh, they won by a bullshit finish. No, they won clean twice. So why would you give the Wyatts another opportunity? Like, they haven't really deserved it. So that would be my kind of asterisk in the bookings. But I guess when you think about it, like, let's be real, there's no other tag team. So, and everyone wants to see Usos and Wyatts again. So I'd be pretty happy to see a third match. And if it's a ladder match, well, fuck yeah, bring it on.
yeah, exactly. It'd be really
And
cool to
yeah,
see a ladder match.
they did have match of the night, in my opinion. I thought the match started slow. I thought, oh, they're kind of killing it here. Like, this could be better, but then they really brought it out. Like,
Yeah,
they brought it in the third fall. So it was pretty sweet in the end. I enjoyed it a lot. And I
yeah.
knew it was going to be a match tonight because they had the match tonight at Money in the Bank, and these two teams just work really well together. So yeah, it was good. It was good shit.
Okay, then we had the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, or just the Shield video package. And this would lead to Seth Rollins cutting a promo saying he's the next world champion. And then Dean Ambrose would attack him, and eventually Triple H would just say, get him out of the building and don't let him back in. And my thoughts is really Ambrose and Rollins is canceled, because this is what I thought was going to be match of the night. And then it was canceled, and I was
Yeah, I was
irritated.
really looking forward to this match, so I was very disappointed when it was cancelled. And obviously, well, probably when it cancelled, it happened a little later in the show, but I guess we'll just talk about it now since we're on it.
Yeah,
Look, the whole Ambrose getting kicked out of the building thing, I don't know. I think it was kind of silly because you think about it like, okay, he attacked Rollins from behind, but you give Rollins an opportunity to take Ambrose out in a match, so why wouldn't he take that? So I don't know. I think it would have been good to see, but when you think about it, though, it's a good decision not to have the match
yeah,
because I'm even more excited for it. I really want to see it, so I'm even more pumped for SummerSlam now that I know that match is going to happen at SummerSlam. Well, we assume, but
yeah,
so I'm really pumped for that match. So it has got me more excited and more inclined to watch SummerSlam. I was going to watch it anyways, but
yeah,
wanting to
exactly.
watch SummerSlams. But it's probably a good decision. I mean, I felt as though there was a bit of a hole left on the paper because I felt there was, like, we had Jericho and Wyatt, which we'll talk about in a minute, but and then we had the main event, and then it was just kind of like a lot of filler matches, and I think they could have really used one more big match on the card, but I guess they're saving it for the most important, the second, maybe third most important show of the year, SummerSlam, which is probably a good
Yeah.
idea in the end.
Yeah. So Dean Ambrose got kicked out of the building. I was irritated, but I agree with you. It makes sense if they, actually have the match at SummerSlam, and I'd like to see it for the briefcase in a ladder match, like I've said multiple different times. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that should happen.
yeah. And then we had the next match or segment or whatever was Paige versus AJ Lee for the Divas title, and there were CM Punk chants, network plugs, some botches, and AJ wins with a Shining Wizard. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
we all knew she was going to win that one.
Yep.
I guess we'll talk about the Paige heel turn on Raw as well. Look,
Yeah.
I think it was about time. I thought she was going to turn heel at BattleGround, but I guess they wanted to do it on Raw. That's the kind of thing with WWE. They don't really do a lot of these things on pay-per-views. They do it all on Raw, so they kind of give away a lot of stuff on TV, which I guess is good in some aspects, but you kind of want to have the pay-per-view feel a bit more special. Like, I felt as though Brock Lesnar should have came out after the Fatal 4-Way and just kicked John Cena's ass
Exactly.
to start the feud there instead of having Triple H just announce. You know, you could have Triple H, bring out Lesnar and kick Cena's ass and say, yeah, this is Plan C, instead of just having him turn up on TV. And it's the same with Paige attacking AJ Lee. Like, AJ Lee should have beaten Paige, and then you should have had Paige just snap and just beat the fuck out of AJ instead of doing it on Raw. Like, yeah, okay, but it didn't have the same kind of effect. I felt as though if you do it straight after the Divas title match, it's going to have a bit more of effect, and it's on pay-per-view, so it means a little bit more, a bit more special.
Yeah, it seemed like this pay-per-view just felt a little flat with no Lesnar turn, no heel turn, nothing really out of the ordinary. It's just it's really just a filler pay-per-view.
It is a filler pay-per-view for SummerSlam, but I still enjoyed it overall. I still think there was enough there to make it a good show. I mean, there was a lot of criticism behind it, but I still felt as though it was a good enough show, and they really delivered on the Raw afterwards as well. So you put the two together, it was a good couple of days in wrestling.
Yeah. And then next we had the SummerSlam video package, which actually looked pretty good. So.
Yeah, it did actually, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yep. And then we had Kane and Orton backstage segment. Kane doesn't apologize for anything, and basically they say it's every man for themselves. And yeah, I find it funny how Kane's always in just these random red rooms throughout the building. But
yeah, look, I don't know what they're doing to Kane. Like, he's just kind of Orton's bitch, really, like Triple H's bitch, and I guess the same for Orton too. But it is what it is. I mean, Kane's never going to win the title again, and I don't think anybody ever wants him to win it or expects him to win it. And Roman Reigns put it best on Raw. Like, nobody wants to see Kane versus Cena. Nobody wants to see Orton versus Cena. So it's time that we probably start to, move on from these older guys. I mean, I like Kane. He's had a great career. He's been one of my favorites. But, it's just kind of... He's just kind of taking up space on TV right now. I think it's give him one big proper feud and send him off.
Yeah, send him off after like a WrestleMania 31 could be a good retirement or something.
Yeah, like have like a big feud with someone and then have him lose and then piss off.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had the next segment, or not segment, match was Rusev versus Swagger. And
I actually missed this match. My network was fucking WWE Network decided to fuck up on me when this match was on, and I was actually looking forward to it. So I think Rusev won by count out. Anyways, I saw the finish. That was it.
Yeah, I think Swagger dominated the match. I didn't pay much attention to it, but Swagger kind of dominated the match. Had the ankle lock on the outside of the ring, and then got pulling into the ring post and hit his head on it. I don't get how people get thrown into the ring post constantly and never get knocked out. Yet when they get, hit their head once on it and just done. And then Rusev attacked Swagger after the match, and it was a good, match.
I think, I don't know if they're going to continue doing the feud or whatever, but I feel as though they should. I think it's worth continuing because. You can have America crush Russia if you really have to. The whole fucking scrutiny around the whole MH17 bullshit.
Yeah.
This is wrestling. This is not portraying real life. I know Lana, the whole controversy coming out of BattleGround was Lana saying whatever she did about, the whole plane incident. So it is what it is. Like, this is wrestling. It doesn't really have to constitute real life. Like, just because Russia, did whatever in the real doesn't mean, you should drop the character. I mean, like
Exactly.
I talked about this on my Let's Talk Tuesday episode. Like, you can compare it to Muhammad Hassan, but I don't think it's as bad as that situation. So I don't think there really is any need to drop the character.
Yeah.
And I think Rusev's just starting to get going, man. I think it'd be a real shame if they dropped him now, because I really feel as though he's just starting to hit his stride and really give
Yeah.
him some longer matches on pay per view and whatever. I think you've got something good on your hands there. So I'd be keeping it going.
Yeah, this may sound far-fetched, but I think Rusev could be the one that brings, a little bit of prestige back to the U.S. title.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he should win the US title. If I was WWE right now, like you've done the deal with Swagger. I think he just faced Swagger on main event just then. I don't know what happened, who won, but I
probably
wouldn't mind seeing
Rusev.
another pay-per-view match between Swagger and Rusev, but I would also like to see Sheamus versus Rusev and have Rusev beat Sheamus for the title. I feel as though Sheamus and Rusev can put on a pretty good match, I feel. And like I said, I've said this in videos before, like I feel as though Rusev winning the US title and turning it into like a Russian championship would be pretty sweet. I think that would work really, really well. Have him hold it for a long time, and then you can build up a big like patriotic United States, resident, and then come up and beat Rusev, and then you can have Rusev get over big as a heel, and then you have another guy get over big as a babyface who stopped the almighty Rusev and took back the US title for America.
Yeah.
Makes sense in my eyes.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, I'd like to see a Rusev-Sheamus match. I don't like Sheamus personally. It's mainly his gimmick. I think his in-ring work is pretty good.
Yeah, I hate his character too.
He just comes out and says fella and kicks a guy in the head. It's basically it's stupid, to be completely honest.
It's kind of like this same old shit with Sheamus. Like he and Cena, I just compare them to each other. I mean, they come out and say the same bullshit every week. They do the same bullshit in the ring. They're just characters that are so goofy. You just can't like it. They make you want to hate them. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Sheamus can go on the ring, but I've never really liked him. I just can't like his character. Like, I respect him as a performer and everything, but, his character just sucks.
Yeah. And then it was right after this where my network crashed, and it was just having issues, and I couldn't get it back, so I was 20 minutes behind already in the live pay-per-view, and then I got it back. But the next segment was Stardust and Goldust backstage. Basically, all I got out of this is they're
Same
creepy.
shit.
Yeah, same shit, and they're just kind of creepy, to be honest.
They are creepy. Like, they're really creepy. Like, Cody Rhodes seems really forced, though. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know, man. It just, ugh. I don't really care for them. Like, they're not even wrestling or anything. So, keep doing these stupid backstage skits. Like, uh, I think they'd be better off, like, creeping out other people. Like, instead of just
Yeah.
kind of creeping out each other. Like, they're both meant to be creepy, weird characters. So, why not go and creep other people out? Like, Goldust used to do that all the time. It was funny. So,
Yeah.
they should do that with both these guys. Just go and, like, punk out people and, like, creep the fuck out of them.
Yeah, turn them heel and then send them into the Divas locker room just to creep them out.
Oh, that's not PG. Can't do that.
Damn. But next we had Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Technically, Seth Rollins wins by forfeit. Dean Ambrose comes out and attacks him while he's walking up the stage. Security separates them, and they were just fighting. And eventually, they hold Ambrose by all four limbs and drag him out of the arena.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good brawl, actually.
Yeah.
It went for a while, and they just kept going at it. Like, there was a couple of Jamie Noble appearances I saw. It was good to see old Jamie getting back on TV. I think I saw Finley too. I believe so. A couple of agents backstage getting involved. So it was always good to see. But yeah, it was a good brawl. I felt as though Ambrose got his worth in. Like, because Ambrose got his ass kicked on Raw the other day, so he kind of looked a bit weak, and he needed to get some offense in on Rollins. And now I'm really, really amped. Like we talked about before, I'm so keen for their match at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be match of the night at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Either,
hard to beat Cena and Lesnar, in my opinion, but I think it's going to be a damn good match.
yeah. And I really like this segment. Yeah, I like the brawl, just like you said, and good build up to SummerSlam. And next we had Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt video package. I liked the video package, built up the match like they always do, put the video package for the match. And right as Bray Wyatt was coming out, my network crashed again. So then I was like 40 minutes behind.
Yeah, and WWE wonders why a lot of people aren't subscribing to the network because they've got a lot of criticism because of the crashing and everything. Like I've been trying to watch all week, and I don't know if it's my shockwave or what, but the only thing that ever crashes on my computer is the WWE network, and I can't watch it on Firefox either. Like it does not load. So the WWE network is just kind of not working for me. I don't know. It is because, probably because I'm not actually American and I'm not actually meant to have the network, so I have to do all the bullshit around it to get it to work as is. But like, it's not working, 100% efficiently every single time. It's been pretty good. I'm not going to say it's been bad. Like, I've enjoyed, I think the network, is pretty stable. It's good quality and everything like that. But getting a couple of crashes during the pay-per-view is pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the crashes if it was, me watching an old pay-per-view and it crashed and I just had to fast forward to where I was. But it
Yeah.
crashing during the live pay-per-view is just, you need to fix that, WWE.
Yeah, especially when like you threw me. I was on the chat on my website on the forums, and I was talking to everyone whilst it was going on, and then it crashed. But at least I refreshed it and was able to keep it going, but get back to where I was meant to start to be. But yeah, then the network's a bit frustrating at times. But like overall, it's a good product. But
Yeah.
the biggest problem with the network, in my opinion, is that the lack of content on it. Like honestly, like when are they going to add all the Raws and Smackdowns and Nitros and everything like that from back in the day? Like hurry
Yeah.
the fuck up. That's when I'll start to really watch the network. The only thing I ever watch the network for is for the pay-per-views,
Yeah, the
and
pay-per-views.
I normally stream them illegally anyways. But now I've decided, look, I'll do the right thing and I'll give them the $10 a month. But I wouldn't mind having a few more Raws to watch, because if you're me, like if in my opinion, like you can go and watch an old school pay-per-view, but you can't really get into it unless you know the backstory behind it. Like I enjoy wrestling for the stories behind it, not because of the actual wrestling match itself. Like that, it's good, but you need the story behind it to make it to get yourself even more into it. Like I can't just watch a card and not know anything about it and just enjoy it. Like I need to know the backstory behind it. So without having the Raws and Smackdowns and everything like that to watch, you can't really get into it as much. So I think that's where WWE's really missing the trick right now, that they have to add all this content in, and then they will get these subscribers. That's the problem. Like it's not because they're not promoting it. It's not because their pay-per-views aren't that great. It's because we want to see all the Raws and everything else. So they need more content.
Yeah. Like, they have a lot of content, but not a lot at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like they've got all the pay-per-views, like great, yeah, but you want to have more than that. Like they're slowly adding everything in. Like I don't know why it's taking them so long, like to add some of the stuff in. Like adding in like Saturday night's main event. Like why did it take 6 months to put that in? It should just be there straight away. Like they have it all. Like what's the big deal? Like they've got it all. Like what are they waiting for? Are they waiting so we get 1 million subscribers? Then we'll put it in? Like no, you should have it all there ready to go. Because then if you have all that content, people will watch, because you can go and find a pay-per-view easily. Like you can go and find an old pay-per-view easily, download it, watch it, whatever. But you can't really go and find every single episode of Raw and SmackDown and everything like that easily. Like some of it's on YouTube and things like that, but it's generally a lot harder to find that online. So having that available and accessed with the network, I think will probably boost a lot of sales, in my opinion.
Yeah. So now we're back to the Chris Jericho Bray Wyatt match, and so after the network crash, when I finally got back on the thing, I wasn't able to fast forward to the beginning of the match, like where I was
Well,
able to.
You didn't
But
really miss much.
yeah, no, I went back and watched it, and the match was kind of not super good.
The
But
match was kind of meh. It was decent. Like,
yeah,
it was nothing special at all.
yeah,
But I think they'll do a better job at SummerSlam and at Night of Champions. Obviously, Chris Jericho won the match. I'm sure you were just about to say that, but
yeah.
that was a bit of a surprise. Like, I thought Jericho was going to win. I know a lot of people believe Bray Wyatt was just going to win and
I
just
was
put
one of those
Jericho away.
people.
But it makes sense that Jericho won. Him winning clean, I don't know about that. But in the end, it's going to all make sense when
Bray Wyatt goes over.
SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt beats Jericho. Night of Champions, Bray Wyatt beats Jericho. Like, you have Jericho win the first one, then you have a reason to go again, and then go again after that. So it makes sense. I would have, if it were me, I probably would have done by DQ or something. Or if Jericho wins clean, then you can have the Wyatt family beat up Jericho. But was it the Wyatts that got taken out of the match? Yeah, the referee
Yeah,
told them to leave. Yeah.
yeah. They got
Okay.
ejected very early. Ish.
Okay. Yeah. Thought so. So yeah, I mean, that was probably ruined the chances of having like a more interference at the end of it. But I think it was a good match. I think it was nothing special. It was not the best match of the night, but it was okay. And I think they can do a lot better than that. It just kind of fell a bit flat. There was a lot of botches on Battleground, wasn't there? There's a lot of fucking.
There was a lot.
There was a lot. So
Wyatt botching his side knee thing. I don't know what it's called, but he does like the backside slam and slams him into his knee. He botched that, and Jericho botched something else. I'm not sure though. I forgot.
yeah, there's a lot of botches, not just in this one, but I think personally, I believe Jericho's just always a bit of a sloppy worker. I mean, you look back at a lot of his matches, he does kind of like do a lot of things pretty sloppily, and he does botch here and there quite often. But obviously overall he's a great wrestler and everything like that. But so I'm not really surprised that there's a couple of botches in his matches. But Bray Wyatt losing, a lot of people are saying Bray Wyatt's getting buried. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Bray Wyatt's not getting buried. I think people need to. The term buried needs to be banned from everyone on the internet because they don't know what the fuck it means. Buried is Zack Ryder, like losing every week, getting no TV time ever.
3MB.
Yeah, buried is getting 3MB buried, like losing every fucking week. Damien Sandow, I don't think he's getting buried, so to say, but it's
But he's not getting a
borderline.
push.
He's getting like he's not getting a push, yeah. Like Titus O'Neil, he's getting buried. He got buried. Bray Wyatt, just because you lose a fucking pay-per-view match does not mean you get buried. Yes, he lost the John Cena feud, but Bray Wyatt, he comes out, he gets a promo every single week, sometimes two. He gets at least 20, 30 minutes of every fucking Raw to do his thing. So
Yeah.
he's always getting featured. And yes, just because he lost one match against Chris Jericho, the man who loses every single match ever, and it's about time he won one,
Exactly.
does not mean he's getting buried. Look at the bigger picture, people. SummerSlam, they're gonna have a rematch. It's pretty much confirmed. They went at it again on Raw. It's confirmed. Bray Wyatt will win there. Jericho's not going to win this feud. He does not want to win this feud. It's Chris Jericho. He does what's best for business. He's giving Bray Wyatt something to do while there's nothing really going on. So he's coming back to help Bray Wyatt out by giving him this feud. So Bray Wyatt is not getting fucking buried. Please stop saying that. It's just frustrating when people say just because you lose one match does not mean you're getting buried. So Bray Wyatt will win a SummerSlam. He'll win at Night of Champions. I think Night of Champions will probably be some big stipulation match. Maybe they may even do one at SummerSlam. I think.
Yeah.
They won't do Hell in a Cell. They won't do Hell in a Cell because Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is just after Night of Champions, so they won't do that. Maybe they could do Last Man Standing or I Quit match could work at Night of Champions and make Jericho quit and then piss him off. So because he will be leaving after Night of Champions, so maybe they can do that. But I think maybe a stipulation would really help this feud out. I think Bray Wyatt could use a few weapons and things like that just to kind of get involved and do just up the ante a little bit. I think it's kind of just fell flat. It was just kind of okay. There's nothing really to it. So I think that they add a little bit more some weapons and whatever to it. I think it could just up the ante a little bit and go outside and use the outside environment a little bit more and do shit like that, I think you could just make the match a little bit better. And it would suit Bray Wyatt a little bit more.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt would be getting buried if after he lost to Cena, he went on to lose, 4 weeks straight, lose at the pay-per-view, lose another 4 weeks straight. That'd be getting buried. Not
Look,
him
you
losing
know
like
you're getting buried when you get beat by Zack Ryder. So until he gets beat by Zack Ryder, he's not getting buried. Getting buried right now is Fandango. He's getting the next burial. So
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt getting on pay-per-view in the second, like one of the main matches on the card, getting heaps of promo time, getting all this build-up, is not getting buried. So please, if you think Bray Wyatt is getting buried, slap yourself. Do it for me, please.
So the thing that ruined this match for me wasn't, the few botches and the crowd being dead. It was after my network crash when I finally got the pay-per-view stream back on. I saw Chris Jericho hit the code breaker and get the 3 count. I didn't get to see any of the match besides that, and then I went back and watched it afterwards, but that kind of ruined the whole match. But Jericho went over with the code breaker, as we said. I was surprised that I thought Wyatt was going to kick out. And
yeah, I was shocked. It just kind of the finish though. It was just like, oh shit, Wyatt just lost because I was not expecting him. I was like, yeah, he's gonna kick out. He's gonna kick out. Oh shit, he just got pinned. What? So I was like, whoa, wow, okay. So I was very not expecting that at all. But I think it's a good decision in the end. I think you bring back Chris Jericho. You had this big return, only for him to lose his first pay-per-view match. Just kind of goes, oh, okay, whatever, Chris. Yeah. So now you have him. You beat Bray Wyatt. You go, oh, okay, Chris Jericho. Maybe he's might win a couple more matches now. Looks okay. He's not the I'm going to lose every single match of my life, Chris Jericho that we know and love. So
exactly.
I think it's a good decision. So in the end, it's what's best for business.
Yep.
And shout out to Mike Nelson. He just commented. He quoted me. I said Chris Jericho does what's best for business, and he said BrendenPlayz 2014. So shout out to Mike Nelson in the chat down below.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm checking something. Okay, I see the comment. Okay.
Yeah.
So next we had Seth Rollins walking out to the parking lot. He was getting, there was security following him.
I forgot about that. Another fucking beatdown. Jesus Christ, they did a lot of beatdowns between these two guys.
Rollins got his ass beat all night, basically.
They pretty much they put enough time to it to constitute a match. Like they gave him 10 minutes of beatdown, so it really was kind of a match.
Yeah, basically. And so Rollins eventually was like, I don't need you guys. They walked away. Rollins got all creeped out and was staring, into the distance. It looked like he was looking, at the moon or something. But then Dean Ambrose came out of the trunk. It was like, yeah, and tried to hit him. Rollins ducked. They ended up fighting. Rollins got in his car and drove away. And Ambrose walked up like a zombie, and that was basically the end of that.
Yeah, well, another good fighting segment that, I mean, I like how they go to the backstage. They don't do that as much very often. They fight in the parking lot. It's very rare. I thought one of the guys was going to go through the car, to be honest with you, crack the shield, the windscreen or whatever, but didn't happen. But I mean, it was a decent little brawl outside. So yeah, I mean, like I said,
more of these.
Yeah, they've got to do a lot more backstage stuff.
Yeah.
Have more brawls backstage, and it makes sense. You have two guys who hate each other. They're both in the same backstage area. Why are they not attacking each other backstage? Why don't they just do it all in the ring? So when you think about it, logic says these guys would probably be brawling in the backstage at some point or another. So a few more backstage segments where I have a few more brawls and things like that could really just kind of make it seem more legitimate, in my opinion.
A segment I'd want to see between them is they'd be like, oh, this was earlier today, and Rollins is chilling at the airport with his Money in the Bank briefcase, and Ambrose just comes up and starts beating the crap out of him in the airport. That'd be great.
That would be pretty sweet. No matter where Rollins goes, Ambrose is there just to kick his ass. That would be funny.
Exactly.
That would be awesome. Rollins is at the cafe getting a coffee. All of a sudden, out comes Ambrose. It just starts beating the fuck out of him. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Only problem with that, though, like, how would they film that? Like, they have to do all this bullshit around it. But, like, I think if they could do it, it'd be pretty sweet. Like, Rollins is at his hotel room, and then Ambrose knocks on the door. Rollins opens it up, and then Ambrose storms in and then just beats the hell out of Rollins in the hotel room or something like that.
Yeah.
Just some segments like that. I think, that would work really good. Just no matter where he is, Ambrose is there to kick his ass.
Yeah, it could be like Rollins is at the hotel, and he calls for room service, and he's like, "Can you bring me blah blah, like some type of food?" And he opens the door, and it's Ambrose, just like, meh.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Like, Ambrose dresses up as the whatever it is, and opens it up, so he thinks it's okay, it's all good, and then he opens it up and gets his ass kicked. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. So, next we had the IC Championship Battle Royal. The first person eliminated was Xavier Woods. I don't know what order people got eliminated in.
Zack Ryder was second. I was shocked. Zack Ryder's definitely getting a push. He was second eliminated. He was not first. He was second. Zack is getting a push.
Exactly. Breaking news. Zack Ryder's getting another push.
Yeah.
He's going to end up getting thrown off the stage.
Well, isn't it bad that they had Xavier Woods, the first man eliminated, and now they bring him out on Raw and form this new Nation of Domination bullshit and try to make it, like, serious. Like, how can you take him seriously when he just gets bitched out all the time? So, they could at least have him in there, survive a few guys. Like, look at Heath Slater. He eliminated fucking Cesaro.
I was about to say that. That's bullcrap.
I
was so pissed. I looked down
what's
for
the
a
point?
second.
What's the point of that? I mean, you have Cesaro, you're pushing him. Like, you're not pushing Heath Slater. Like, why would you have Heath Slater take out Cesaro? Like, a cheap little pop. Yeah, cool. But in the long run, it's not going to do any good for Heath Slater because they're not pushing him. It's not going to do any good for Cesaro because he looks weak because he got bitched out by Heath Slater. So
exactly.
This doesn't make any sense. And I actually thought Cesaro was going to win. And it looks as though I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Cesaro. Like, what are they doing with Cesaro? Are they going to bury him? They've taken away his manager. They've got them this ridiculous theme music. He's been losing to Kofi Kingston and he got bitched out by Heath Slater. He lost to Ambrose again, I believe.
No, it was a DQ finish with Cesaro winning.
Okay.
Chair shot to the arm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's just whatever. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Cesaro. I actually thought he was going to be Intercontinental Champion because when you think about it, they had Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, pushing him. So another one of the guys that were rumored to really push heavily was Cesaro. So you can just easily have Cesaro slip in and take the IC title for Barrett and continue the push that we're going to do. But this time, just do it for Cesaro. But the Miz obviously won.
Yeah, and he was going to win. When I saw him just chilling outside the ring,
when he was outside the ring, you knew that was coming. Like, okay. Miz is going to outsmart everyone and win it, which makes sense. That's kind of plays into Miz's character. So I think that's a good way for Miz to win. If you're going to have him win, that'd be a good way to do it. And I think Ziggler, almost winning was just kind of a bit of a teaser, a bit of a fuck you to everyone who wants Ziggler to do well and win championship. Just you got him. Oh, just joking. How comes the Miz?
But you go?
At least it wasn't fucking Sheamus winning and doing the whole unified bullshit. At least Ziggler had his moment for
a few seconds.
Yeah.
So some of the spots we had in this is Kofi jumped into an electric chair drop on Big E, and Cesaro suplexed him back into the ring.
Well, Kofi Kingston, I think the only reason why he's still employed in this company is to do a cool spot in the Royal Rumble and Battle Royal. So that's the only fucking reason. Honestly, what else does he do? They did the same thing with the Royal Rumble. They built Kofi up. They had him beat Randy Orton, made him look good coming in the Royal Rumble. Thought, okay, maybe Kofi Kingston's getting the push. He wasn't. But he did some cool thing in the Royal Rumble, and then before the Battle Royal, they built him up by beating Cesaro, and maybe Kofi Kingston's getting a push again. They did something cool in the Battle Royal. Now, maybe he actually might be getting a push now if they do this nation bullshit, but yeah, so Kofi Kingston just does a cool spot in every single Battle Royal. That's like his only purpose in this company right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, Cesaro suplexed in the back of the ring. Slater eliminated Cesaro. Ziggler eliminated Sheamus with that. That was a pretty cool super kick. I liked it. Oh, my dog's going off. Oh, my mom Yep, my mom's home, but that's all good. So, we had Ziggler eliminate him with that. Miz ended up winning after hiding outside the ring. And I was disappointed. I wanted Ziggler to end up winning because that would have been, pretty awesome. Give Ziggler that, push. Then we had the... Oh, notes are getting all fuzzled. Okay, so next we had the network plug, which just led to a SummerSlam promo again. And then... Hold on, Brendan, I'll be right back.
Well,
okay,
he's gone.
I'm back.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Yep, Mom walked in the room.
I thought I was going to do a big solo show just then for a couple of minutes.
Okay, we had Cena versus Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus Kane. Video package, again, video package was okay, I guess. I just really don't like Cena at all. And
Really? I did not know that. You don't like Cena?
I hate that. God.
What is it? Fuckboy Buckethead? Whatever it's called?
Fuckboy Buckethead. The worst wrestler that's ever lived.
Oh, God. Are we talking about the match now?
Yeah.
Alright, well, look, the match was good. I actually enjoyed it.
I liked the match. I did. One of the few matches of Cena I enjoyed. And
I actually thought for a moment Roman Reigns was going to win. I thought, oh shit, Reigns is going to do it. Oh no, broke it up. But I thought the ending of it was pretty good. The way Cena won was a little bit,
yeah.
It took out Roman Reigns with the RKO. Cena comes in, RKO, attitude adjustments, Randy onto Kane. Who, my God, Kane was getting bitched out, wasn't he? He was just taking everything. I guess that was his whole kind of purpose to be in the match, was to take the fall. Like, we all knew that was going to happen.
That's exactly.
And, my God, he was getting bitched out. Like everything, everyone was hitting everything on Kane. But so obviously, look, Cena won. Typical Cena fashion, overcame the odds. Cena just kind of swoops in at the end and just takes the win. He does that a lot. Just kind of lets everyone else fight each other, and he'll get taken out at some point, then he'll swoop in at the end and take it. So, I mean,
exactly.
I think Cena winning was what's best for business. I think Cena winning, because of the fact that you have Cena versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, that's a huge match. That's a big money match. That's a match I've been waiting for 2 years to see the rematch of. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. I thought for a moment we may never get to see it again, but now we get a SummerSlam for the title. I think it's going to be one hell of a match. The only reason I'll be happy if Cena is still the champion is if he loses the championship belt
to
Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
But I swear to fuck, if Cena beats Brock Lesnar, I'm joining the Cena hate train. I'm joining up with you, my friend. I'm getting on the fuckboy Buckethead hater train because I will be pissed at Cena.
I'll be so pissed. Oh God, I'm gonna do the review right after that show if Lesnar wins, or if Cena wins. Oh
I can just imagine all the videos popping up. Everyone fucking breaking their TVs and breaking everything they can that's WWE related.
Oh wow. Oh man, I'm just thinking about it now.
And though, like, I wouldn't rule it out. I think Cena has a pretty good chance of beating Brock Lesnar because they're building him up to be the greatest WWE champion of all time. So, what better way to overcome the guy who beat the Undertaker's streak, the Beast, Brock Lesnar?
Well, I don't think Lesnar would agree to come back if he wasn't going to get the title. Like, I mean, after the WrestleMania
thing. No, Lesnar doesn't care. Lesnar doesn't care. He just comes in, gets a payday, and leaves. He doesn't care if he wins or loses. Like, honestly, Lesnar came back in his first match 3 or 4 weeks after coming back to the WWE, after how many years being away, and he lost to John Cena. What kind of fucking retard booked that match? That's my worst Cena moment. Like him beating Lesnar there. I'm still dirty about that. Now I don't know who the fuck decided that was a good idea, but I don't know. But him losing there, so that's kind of just proved that Lesnar doesn't really give a shit. So because any sane person would not have Cena win there. So if they do the same bullshit here, well, fuck. We've seen it 1,000 times. We know it's coming, so we can't be too upset about it. But it's nice to think that Lesnar will win. But the thing is, if Brock Lesnar wins, then what? I really don't know if they're going to have Lesnar be able to defend the championship as much as they would like him to. Like, if he wins the title, if he's not there, on every pay-per-view, then what's he going to do? Like, what are the WWE going to do? Like, he only has the limited amount of dates he's going to work, and I believe he only works like a certain amount of matches a year. So unless they worked out some kind of new deal with him, he's not going to win the championship. Because,
apparently they have enough dates left in Lesnar's contract to have him go every single pay-per-view with the title match for the rest of the year until the calendar year's over, with one appearance per month on a Raw, is what I read somewhere. So, he might be able to be on every pay-per-view. And then
is that really a smart idea to do? And how can you really build a feud up with only one Raw appearance and then the pay-per-view appearance? So it's difficult to do that. I think if they're going to have Lesnar hold the title for as long as it's rumored to occur for, they need to do more appearances for him. So they need to give him as much money as they possibly can, because I think Lesnar holding the championship for a long time.
Big draw.
That's a I'd tune in for that, because you get Lesnar, on a monthly basis, which is fucking awesome. You get Lesnar versus all these different guys. You get the most out of Lesnar, the guy who beat the streak, and the end payoff, in my opinion, should be WrestleMania 31, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns defeats Lesnar, who's held the championship for this long. Whatever. He's beat the Undertaker. He's beat everyone there is to beat. Out comes Reigns, beats Lesnar, gets the title back, and he gets over huge as a babyface. So I think that would work wonders. So if they can make that happen, I tell you what, that's going to be big, big business and a huge payoff for Roman Reigns, and will make him an absolute superstar.
Yeah, that'll be that'd be great if Lesnar beats Cena, holds onto the title. Till then, Reigns wins. Because I may not be the biggest fan of Reigns. Tons of more guys that I'd rather see as the top guy, but any other guy besides Cena, to be honest. So,
I want to see Randy Orton versus Lesnar. I think that'd be a good match.
Agreed.
Who else can we have? I was going to say Sheamus, but I don't know. He's not really Lesnar worthy. So there's a lot of guys I'd like to see versus Lesnar, but are they really worthy of facing Lesnar? Probably not. So I have no interest in ever seeing Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar or anything like that either. So I think it's got to be guys that you could believe that could possibly beat Lesnar, which is probably nobody, but
because he's a legit UFC fighter. So
yeah, obviously. So that's the kind of hard thing. You're going to have that problem with anyone who faces Lesnar. Can you actually believe he could beat Lesnar? But you could probably believe Cena could beat Lesnar. Like if you take away his UFC bullshit, and it's just a straight-out wrestling match. You look at the two guys and you go, okay, these guys are pretty evenly matched in size. Yeah. So, and Roman Reigns, he can hold his own against Lesnar as well in size. So you have that comparison, and you go, okay, yeah. And Randy Orton, when you look at the storyline, he's 12-time champion, I think, 11 or 12-time champion. So, you obviously he's going to be able to beat Lesnar. So it makes sense to do those guys. But look, Cena winning at BattleGround, like good match, everything like that. I enjoyed it. Fatal 4-way stipulation was good. I mean, you get more guys involved, and it's a good way to have a filler match. By you've already got this kind of storyline set. You have this Fatal 4-way match. You can have all these different dissensions within the match itself. Obviously now, looking towards SummerSlam, we have Cena versus Brock Lesnar, but then we also have Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. They've teased that, so they've pretty much confirmed that's going to happen at SummerSlam, which I think is going to be good as well. Roman Reigns beating Randy Orton one-on-one in a 10-15 minute match would do wonders for Roman Reigns. And then you can also have Roman Reigns go on to first Triple H
At Night of
at Night of Champions. Have Roman Reigns I think Roman Reigns having a couple of match pay-per-view feud with Triple H would do huge as well for Roman Reigns. So you can build Roman Reigns up, keep building him, keep building him, keep building him. By the time you get to the Royal Rumble, Reigns is going to be the definite favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Wins the Royal Rumble. Lesnar's the champion. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. What a hell of a match that's going to be. And I tell you what, can't wait for it, man. It's going to be good.
Yeah. What I'd like to see for a Reigns-Triple H feud would be, obviously, Reigns beating Orton at SummerSlam, which is most likely going to happen. And then they have Triple H Reigns at Night of Champions in just a normal match. They end up having...
Wouldn't it be good to see Reigns and Triple H in Hell in a Cell?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because we know Triple H is kind of like, the king of Hell in a Cell matches. He's been in a ton of them. Yeah, so he and Undertaker, the Hell in a Cell specialists. So seeing Triple H in Hell in a Cell again would be pretty cool. Obviously, it's not going to be blood or anything like that to make it awesome, but I think that'd be a pretty cool match. I think Triple H and Roman Reigns could work something good.
Yeah, I'd like to see Reigns beats Triple H at Night of Champions, Triple H beats Reigns in Hell in a Cell, and then at Survivor Series, they end off the feud in some type of last man standing or a 5-on-5 match with Team Reigns versus Team Authority or something like that.
I think if Triple H beats Roman Reigns at all, it's not going to be clean. It's going to be interferences after interferences, because they're not going to want to have Triple H beat Roman Reigns clean, because that'll make him look weak. So if you do it in Hell in a Cell, you'd have to do the whole, break in the cage and whatever. So that'd be pretty difficult to do. So I don't know if they're going to do a 3-match feud between Triple H and Roman Reigns. I think it'd be good to see. I mean, WWE doesn't do enough long-term feuds, in my opinion. I think a lot of the reason for that is because the fans, they lose interest after one match, because people these days have such short-term attention spans, and they're not willing to see a rivalry play out. That's why you don't see any 6 months or 1 year long feuds ever happen anymore, because nobody can keep their attention span for more than 5 minutes in a match in a rivalry. So it's so difficult to do that. So we saw with the Cena and Wyatt feud, by the time the second match was over, everyone was saying, "Oh my God, please end this, please end this." When I was still like, "Yeah, okay, let's keep it going." Let's get the third match. So you got to have long-term rivalries. It makes more sense, and you get more business out of the rivalry. And by the time you hit the third match, when it's 1-1, whoever wins that's going to get a good payoff. So it means more. So I think if you did Roman Reigns versus Triple H, you had the first match where perhaps you could have Triple H win the first one and have him win by some bullshit interference, like, I'm the authority, I can do whatever the fuck I want, I don't want Roman Reigns to win this. Have him win some bullshit finish, then you have a rematch at Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns wins Hell in a Cell, then him winning Hell in a Cell will be way bigger than Triple H winning a standard one-on-one match anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
And then if you want to have a third match, I think it would be Survivor Series, I believe. Yeah, so maybe you can have a Team Triple H versus Team Roman Reigns, and then you can have teams like Team Authority versus Team Reigns, and then you have those two guys square up again, but this time it's one apiece in the feud. Have the third match in the feud be a 5-on-5 tag team match, which I love that match, by the way.
Yeah,
5-on-5
one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, so you can have... I think that'd be a good idea to do. Triple H assemble Randy Orton, Kane, fucking Seth Rollins, and some other little bitch to join him. And maybe Cesaro. Maybe Cesaro can be the new Authority guy. And you have Roman Reigns assemble a team of Reigns, Ambrose, Triple H, not Triple H, Sheamus, and
probably John Cena.
Probably fuckboy Buckethead. And who else is a big, goofy, smiley babyface? Probably add the fucking Big Show or someone in there, just because. Yeah. So.
Or Dolph Ziggler. That would be someone.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler, someone like that. So that would be pretty cool. Have a 5-on-5 match there. Obviously, you'd have to wonder who's going to be the champion or whatever, and what are they going to do about that. But so I think that would work really well. So you could have Triple H wins at Night Champions by DQ or bullshit finish. Reigns wins Hell in a Cell. Third match, Survivor Series 5-on-5. and Team Reigns wins. So would do huge for Roman Reigns, like beat Triple H twice, and then you could have some kind of filler at what's the fucking lot? TLC.
Yeah,
And
TLC then
some
Royal
kind of
Rumble.
filler, and then have him win the Royal Rumble and go from there.
Yes.
That's how I book it, anyways.
Yeah. So the main spots in this match were Roman Reigns hitting the Superman punch on Cena, then hitting the spear right after. It wasn't, he reversed it, surprisingly. Orton getting speared through the barricade, and those were just the main spots, besides a bunch of near falls off of finishers and stuff. And Cena ended up winning with an AA on Orton, which was on top of Kane, and he got the pin on Kane. Okay match. Wasn't the best match I've ever seen, but it was still a pretty good match. And originally I was really pissed that there was no Brock Lesnar return, and then obviously he returned on Raw, which this is being made on 7/22/14 for Americans. I don't know if it's different for Australians or any other place in the world, but then Lesnar returned on Raw, but I was disappointed that he didn't return because I wanted to see, just like we said in the predictions video, Lesnar come out with Paul Heyman and destroy Cena.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, come on, Lesnar, come on, and no.
Yeah.
So I felt Lesnar coming back from BattleGround would have a bit more of effect, but maybe they want to save the date, like his dates, and have it do it on Raw instead.
Yeah. So, match of the night, we both agree, Usos and Wyatt.
Yeah, without a doubt. Gotta be that.
Worst match, Fandango versus Adam Rose. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. It's just... Well, obviously, like, they only had, like, 2 minutes. Like, match went for, like, 2 minutes, so obviously it's not going to be good. And Adam Rose just fucking squashed Fandango. Fandango is getting buried. That's what you want. You want to use buried, Fandango is the word. He's buried. They go together, 2 and 2. But, yeah, 2-minute match. You can't have a good match in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And the overall pay-per-view rating for me was 6.25 out of 10. It was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. 6.5, maybe. If you had a Lesnar return there, probably would have pushed to 7. But I think probably 6.5 out of 10, around about 6 or whatever. So I think that's probably a fair score. It was a good show. Like, I enjoyed it, but there was really nothing memorable coming out of it. But then you had all this memorable stuff coming out of Raw. So if you had done that on the pay-per-view, if you done the Page heel turn on pay-per-view, the Lesnar return on pay-per-view, it would have turned that 6.5 into 7.5. It would have just made that just that much more memorable and more special. Whereas there was really nothing memorable happening on the pay-per-view. Like, the only thing that really happened was Miz winning the Intercontinental Championship, but we don't really care about that anyway because it's the fucking Miz. So
exactly.
Really, that, like, what kind of purpose does it serve? It doesn't really do anything. So just nothing memorable happened on Battleground. That was the only real issue I had. Like, I enjoyed it, but yeah, nothing memorable.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm going to pimp out my shit. You can pimp out your shit, and we're going to be on our way. So subscribe. Obviously, you can just click the subscribe button because you're on the channel watching this video. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/ehwrestling78. That's basically all my pimping out.
You can find my channel at BrendenPlayz. YouTube.com/BrendenPlayz. I have a website, BrendenPlayz.com. I've got a forum over there, and it's growing. It's got nearly 150 members now. So we are growing in the forum. So if you want to go discuss wrestling, that's a good place to go and do it. It's a really friendly community. And obviously subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you don't know me, I make WWE 2K14 Universe Mode videos. So I would say I've got one of the best universe modes. Not to be cocky, but I'll say it. But so if you enjoy universe mode, you can go and find my channel.
His universe mode is really enjoyable. Go check it out. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it. Second time on the show. We'll do it again sometime soon. Maybe another SummerSlam prediction and review afterwards. So I'm always available. So we'll do it again sometime. Thanks for having me on, man.
Alright, cool. Thanks for coming on. Make sure to like, comment, favorite if you have an old enough YouTube account, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And we're out.
See ya.